Well, another Star Wars video, new episode of Mandalorian. And you know the drill. Spoilers, spoilers. There's not much to talk about this episode, and it's not a filler episode, but there's really not too much to talk about. The star of this episode is Bill Burr. They give his character some characterization. We get his views on how he feels about the galaxy, and he makes some good points about how the Republic rules and also the Empire rules, like what's the difference, we're all the same. He made some good points, but he's basically saying what's the point of taking a side when both sides do the same thing. It reminded me of Benicio del Toro's point in The Last Jedi, as much as I try and forget about that whole subplot, but I do agree with some of the things they're saying. Like, what's the point if one side's ruling and the other side's ruling? Like, what's the point? Now, granted, the Empire is fucking evil, so that's why you'd want to be on the side of the Republic, but I get what he's saying. I love these fascinating points that make you think about Star Wars, because Star Wars is a pretty simple story, but when you think about it more and more, it becomes a little bit more complicated and a little bit more complex. So I like these ideas that they throw at you that make you think. Overall, this episode is to get to this Imperial base so that Bill Burr can, get the coordinates to Moff Gideon's ship. We get a pretty cool action sequence with pirates attacking their cruiser thing. I do love in that scene that Mando starts shooting at the pirates and then he's out of ammo. And I've always thought about that. I'm like, do these blasters have ammo or anything like that? I just assumed it was unlimited, but I guess they have ammo, and that kind of blew my mind. I'm like, oh shit, I don't think I've ever seen that before in a Star Wars thing. But Mando has to go in disguise, so he has to take off his suit and helmet and put on a different suit and helmet, and it goes back to Bill Burr making some pretty good points during this episode. He's basically saying that you're raised on ideals that sometimes you have to break when there's something that's really important to you, or something you love, or there's something you just want to do. You might break your old ideals. Mando eventually takes off his helmet to get these coordinates to get Baby Yoda back. That is clearly against everything he believes in, but sometimes things are more important than that. And you can tell it's really conflicting for him, because obviously he really wants to get Baby Yoda back, but he also wants to follow his own culture. And sometimes things are more important than your own beliefs. He feels like Baby Yoda is more important than the Mandalorian code. I love that. I love that character development, that Mando has basically his whole entire life felt like Mandalorian way is the only way, we could never break that code. Until now, he found something that is more important to him than the Mandalorian code, because that originally was the most important thing in his life, and now it's Baby Yoda. And he'll break his old beliefs to save him. I think that's great character development. Then we get more characterization of Bill Burr's character, where we learn that he was part of some mission in the Empire and they sacrificed all these troops. And that's probably why Bill Burr's like, yeah, fuck the Empire, I'm out. They're a bunch of scum assholes. He just blasts that commander and then they escape. And I love seeing the Slave One again. It's been a long time since we've seen the Slave One. And it was a nice little fan service Easter egg moment when the Slave One shot the bomb out from Attack of the Clones to hit the TIE fighters that goes like, boom, boom. I remember as a kid, I loved that shit because the sound effects were so fucking cool, and they used the same one, so it was a great little throwback. And then the episode ends with Mando setting a threat to Moff Gideon, basically using the same exact dialogue that Moff Gideon used at the end of episode 7 of season 1. And I love when protagonists can do that, throw that shit right back at the antagonist, like, yeah, fuck you, dickhead. I wish they kept Bill Burr, though. I think he's a nice little addition to Star Wars, but I'm pretty sure he didn't even really want to do this project. I think he says, I don't even like Star Wars, and they're like, oh, perfect. Let's put you in Star Wars. The next episode should be crazy. They're going to go to Moff Gideon, try and get Baby Yoda back. I don't think there's too much to look into. I think that's exactly what the next episode's going to be. I'm assuming, and hopefully, we'll see some more Mando and Boba Fett teaming up, because that'd be fucking cool. I like how in the beginning of the episode, Mando calls Boba Fett Fett. He's like, heads up, Fett. I don't know. I think that's cool. But yeah, this wasn't a filler episode, but there wasn't too much to talk about. I think it was just a nice little episode for character development with Mando and some of our side characters. Nothing wrong with that. So, The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 7, Chapter 15, The Believer? I think it's called, yeah, it's The Believer. Let me know what you guys thought of it. Thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Dave's Takes.